What's up, YouTube? I'm Danielle, and this is Kitchen Optimist. I'm a novice cook, but expert eater, taking on recipes that scare the salt out of me 1 teaspoon at a time. In all of my you don't need to know the number years on the planet, I have managed to avoid making a whole turkey. I'm the salad friend. I'm the pie friend. I am not the centerpiece of the meal friend. It turns out, when you're the host, you provide the bird. And since next week, I have people coming over expecting to be fed, delighted, and certainly not given salmonella poisoning, I figured I better do a practice bird. I'm using the recipe from tastebetterfromscratch.com. She calls this a foolproof turkey, and as somebody who frequently feels like a fool, my hopes are high. The recipe has 4.98 stars from almost 3,800 reviews, and will be linked in the description below. Let's do this. Step number 1 to a hopefully successful turkey is making sure that that sucker is thawed out. It is Thursday today. We bought it on Sunday. 1 tablespoon each of minced chopped rosemary, thyme, and sage. So she also calls for the turkey to sit out for an hour before roasting so that it's fully room temperature. And I missed that step in my prep. My bird has been out for about 15 minutes, maybe 20. I should feel embarrassed for missing that prep step, but that's kind of my whole vibe here. What's it like doing something for the first time? And usually you make dumb mistakes. I have marinated meat before. I have never brined it. And I don't know how those are different. But just the difference in word alone has been one of the intimidation factors of a whole turkey. Besides the purported foolproofery of this recipe, one of the reasons I chose it is because there is no brining involved. Shout out to Fresh Thyme for making sure my turkey gets to room temperature. I'm now preheating the oven to 325 while I chop 6 to 8 garlic cloves. Now a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of not fresh ground pepper, even though she says fresh ground pepper, a heaping teaspoon. Cup of softened butter. This bad boy has been defrosting in my fridge for 3.5 days. This says it comes with a pop-up timer. Decided to go bowl here. That feels achy. What is that? What is this? Okay, so bad news, we still got some ice happening. The formula that the internet seemed to agree on was 24 hours per 5 pounds. This turkey is 14.4 pounds, so yeah, it should totally be defrosted. And yet here we are. Also, what the f do I do with this? Is that supposed to stay? It seems pretty firmly ensconced, so I don't think I can get that out. But here's my pop-up thermometer. I definitely can't get this out. We're just going to have to assume that it is heat proof. What is that for? Is it if I wanted to do a beer can? I don't know. All these icicles. Into the bird, we are shoving our quartered favorite apple, a quartered peeled onion, running out of space in here already, a quartered lemon, that's not going well, and the rest of the herbs. Supposed to rub the compound butter inside and outside. I was only thinking about the outside. Okay, I was wrong. I'm only supposed to put salt and pepper inside the turkey. Not sure I would have removed all of that for that. Doesn't say how much. Since I have the opportunity to do it again, I will stick my herbs in first. Maybe my onions are too big. Now, to get really intimate with this bird, pull the skin back and put a few tablespoons of the butter underneath the skin, which feels extremely gross. So I just heated this butter for 30 seconds, which was too long. It does not need to be melted, and I'm supposed to brush it all over the rest of the bird. I guess I could just pour it at this point. tuck the wings underneath so they don't burn. Oh, that's not working. We might have some crispy wings. And now tie the legs together. Now this guy goes into the oven at 325. 13 to 15 minutes per pound. 15 times 14.4. A little over 3.5 hours. Or until internal is 160. Or this guy goes up. I don't know, we'll see. Wish me luck. We have at least a half hour left to go, but it's starting to get brown on the top, and she says to tent it with foil if that happens. Good enough. Okay, that little doohickey is up. That should mean done, but let's temp it also. Definitely at 160, in some places higher. We might have a dry ass bird. And it's supposed to stay tented for 20 to 30 minutes before carving. Okay, got it. Well, this looks like a turkey is supposed to look. Oh my God. Good news is that weird plastic thing did not melt. I take this out. Oh, that is hot. Ah, it's so hot. There's something in there still. Nope, that's turkey. It's not turkey, it's turkey. I don't know what that is. It's possible I left a giblet in. Operation complete. Now cut and eat this.
Carve this beautiful bird so that everybody can enjoy some.
Taste Better from Scratch has a whole tutorial on how to properly cut your turkey. I am tired and I don't feel like learning how to do anything else, so I'm going to leave that to my husband when he gets home. I will say towards the edge I can see that some of the breast meat is dry. I always think breast meat is dry. All right, let's try this. I wonder if I could try and salt the bottom half of the turkey because this skin doesn't have any flavoring on it. Or maybe if I could molest the turkey and put the butter under the skin on both sides. Okay, so I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I'm only eating the dark meat. That's what I eat when somebody else makes it too, so it is still like to like. It is moist. I know a lot of people hate that word, but what would you like me to say? I don't know that juicy is any better. It tastes like turkey. It is tender. It is not mind-blowing, but I also don't have any gravy on it. This is a solid recipe. I don't know that it'll like win any innovative awards, but that's also not the point. It's like an easy, no-fuss, foolproof turkey. That is what she advertised, and that is what was delivered. I don't know that anybody will ask me for this recipe, but I do think that they will eat whatever is on their plate. Is that helpful? What did I learn? I learned that I should watch the carving video before I do the rest of the new things because I am tapped on absorbing new information. What else did I learn? Turkeys are not to be feared. I mean, except in the wild, I hear they're quite vicious. I now don't need to mooch turkey off of my best friend's Thanksgiving, which is great because those Thanksgivings are in Brooklyn and I am in Nashville. How long did it take? Well, that's also hard to say because my whole thing is I include the prep time. So to stay on brand, this took 3.5 days plus 6 hours, 6 minutes, and 35 seconds. So that's 4 days, 6 minutes, and 35 seconds. Obviously, the time that it is sitting in your fridge, I was not actively working on this. But it is important to include that because you don't want to end up with a frozen through bird after cooking it for 3.5 hours. And as you saw, I still had gross little bloodsickles inside my bird even after 3.5 days of defrosting, which should have been more than enough. For cost, it was $44.92. I got lucky that Kroger's was having a turkey sale. Obviously, if they weren't, it would have been more. But considering the fact that that's going to feed, I don't know, a dozen people? Maybe not. 8 people? I'm good with that price. That was for the ingredients. For the equipment, $203.53. A quarter of that $203.53 is the roasting pan. So total cost is $248.45. This is a worst case scenario pricing. You probably have a number of the ingredients that I used, but everybody's kitchen is stocked differently, so I like to include that. So will I make this again? Yes. In fact, I will make this again in a week. I do not feel the need to go hunt out a new recipe. I do not feel the need to share this recipe with other people unless they too are nervous about making a turkey for the first time. I will not evangelize this recipe, but I will enjoy it for the entirety of the meat it provides. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm Danielle. This is Kitchen Optimist, fighting the good fight for mediocre cooks everywhere. Stay salty.